Yo, Sam here, Nostra Gamgee, and I want to go over my reaction to the Cannes official competition, which came out a few weeks ago or a month ago now, whatever. I should have done this then. I meant to do it then, but whatever. I'm doing it now for the like three friends literally who asked me to do this. So, shout out to you. I am obsessed with Cannes. Anyone who knows me in my film circle here where I live, or elsewhere knows I'm obsessed with it. Obsessed with the competition lineup, who's gonna win each year, what films are in the lineup that end up becoming some of the best films of the year. This is a great breeding ground for these films every year, and yeah, there's a few outliers usually that aren't in the mix for some of the best films of the year. But in terms of international cinema, there's always so much great stuff. Always love it. In fact, I've had my own at-home Cannes Film Festival with friends that we called Cannes Apart, like band apart. Godard, Breathless. I mean, Band of Outsiders. Sorry. Um, and we did a whole film festival where each director in the official competition, we watched one of their films. So I keep that thought process going each year, and I try to watch films by these directors. If I had more time this upcoming month, I would do exactly that. There are films by all of these filmmakers I want to watch. I love watching the red carpet, the press interviews, the Cannes live stream that's always going, and I'm obsessed with also the jury. I we as of now, as of today, we don't have the Cannes jury announced. It's later than it should have been. We don't have it yet, so I figure get this video out. Maybe I'll make another video on the jury. I'm obsessed with it. I don't know why. I don't know why. I want to be on the Cannes jury one day. It is a goal of my life to A, design a Cannes Film Festival poster, official poster, and B, appear on the jury. I don't know how I'm going to appear on the jury. Maybe as a poster designer who's had an illustrious career in film. We'll see, but I'm determined to make it happen at someday. Maybe as a filmmaker, who knows? So, just and to talk about that, should say Ruben Ostlund selected as the jury president. So he's the jury president this year. That's announced first always. Um, it's a disappointing jury president for me right off the bat in a way. I mean, I like Ruben Ostlund fine. I love Triangle of Sadness. It was on the edge of my top 10 last year. Won the Palme d'Or last year, obviously. They do this all the time where someone wins an award and they immediately appear on the jury the next year or jury president the next year. Only thing is, we want to see more women, right? We want to see more women in the line in the competition. We want to see more women as jury presidents. And Terry Frimo of Cannes always says, we reached out to tons of people to be the jury president, and so many people we wanted could not do it. That's what he said, due to timing and scheduling and stuff. So it kind of implied that Ruben Ostlund was kind of like a last minute, like we need someone to do this, who's available, and he was like, hell yeah, I'll do it. Um, but I don't know. It seems just like a little bit too soon, if you will. To I think of the jury president as someone who's like had a massive, respectful career over decades, and also he's got a good track record. Don't get me wrong; he's won the Palme d'Or twice, for God's sake. But anyway, we'll see. I like following it, and I really just can't wait to see who the jury is. But we're gonna go through the lineup right here, and I'll just give you my like off the cuff kind of like what I've been thinking about each of these selections. Some of them are very new to me, very foreign, if you will. And some are films I've been very, very excited about for a very long time. One in particular. So definitely going to get into all that. So here we go. Starting off, and I'm just using as a reference, you guys can check this out, a letterbox list by Solin. So credit to you, Solin, this user here. And this person made the list that Eclectic Tickling on Twitter. The list that everyone caught on to real fast. It was the first list to go up that's annotated here where it shows, the different sections of Cannes and whatnot, opening film, last screening, etc. So the first one here you'll see is the opening night film, and then 2 through 22 are the official selection. So we'll skip over one, which is Jean Barry or whatever. The less said about that one, the better. And opening night films are rarely big. They're usually not in competition. Same with the special presentations. Although I do want to say something about one or two of the special presentations at the end. But yeah, they usually don't do I don't know, the opening night film. It always seems like kind of a wasted opportunity, especially because Killers of the Flower Moon. Obviously, just talk about that real quick. Scorsese, not in competition. I'm looking forward to it for sure. I'm not like there's so many people who Scorsese is like the god of cinema. He's not really that for me. I like a lot of his films a lot. I'm not super into the machismo gangster genres. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a master. Okay, uh, but I mean, I don't know. We just had a couple. I mean, I just don't think his recent output is like you're guaranteed to get a masterpiece every time. Irishman was really good, but I mean, we people were so hyped for the Irishman going in, and it seemed like a little bit of a letdown. I don't know why people are even more hyped for Killers of the Flower Moon, especially because it's Leo again. I don't know if anyone else is getting a little tired of the Scorsese Leo thing, and I love Leo, but come on, I don't know. It seems too much in his wheelhouse or something, but I'm reserving judgment. Obviously, it looks good. I hear it's a great story. But it's not like my number one anticipated of the year. My number one anticipated of the year is actually in competition. So let's start getting into the competition, starting with number two, which is this is just going in order, I guess, of I don't know what order they have these in, but whatever. I'll go in this order. Club Zero, Jessica Hausner. So I think the female directors are up to like 6 this year in competition, or maybe it's more actually. It should be going up and up. It is going up and up. It's not enough. It's not paritable or whatever equal yet, female to male. I don't know when that's going to happen, but here we are. It's better every year. But the problem is the same filmmakers get in, male and female, and I have issues with the Cannes selection always. As much as I'm obsessed with it, I'm crazy for it. Like I'm talking when they did this press conference, I'm like up at the crack of dawn, like watching live the announcement of the lineup. I'm like, oh my god, like making notes and all this stuff. And you see the same old people over and over again, like Jessica Hausner. Like she is great. I'm just giving my personal opinion here, okay? Like anyone watching, you're gonna have your own thoughts. So Jessica Hausner, a lot of people don't know really who she is. So Austrian director, screenwriter, here she is here. She was, you can't see that because my face is over it. That's okay though. You'll see her as we scroll. She was actually on the jury, I think, last year, right? Little Joe was in the selection in 2019. I didn't see this one. It's it honestly didn't get great reviews in the competition. Her most well known, these are sorted by popularity, is Lourdes, and this would be one I'd like to watch. Pretty good reviews here on Letterboxd. Why can't this? Oh yeah, 3.6 average. Okay, it's all right. Lovely Rita would be the one I would watch. I like watching early work by these directors a whole lot. She just gets in every time. I don't know why she gets in every time, but she does. This one, Amor Fu, Too Foolish Love, or whatever that would be translated to. And this one we actually watched in Cannes Apart. So this is my personal at-home film festival I did with a bunch of friends. We watched one film per director in competition, and this we watched when, I guess when Little Joe is in competition. So we watched Hotel, and it was cool. It's one of her earlier films, and it's like a genre. It's kind of like a dreamlike, not horror, but it's kind of mysterious, dreamy film. I liked it. It's just not. I don't put her in like master director tier or anything like that. But Club Zero does have Mia Wasikowska. A teacher takes a job at an elite school and forms a strong bond with 5 students, a relationship that eventually takes a dangerous turn. So interesting, log line. We have no good art. And by the way, as a poster designer, seeing the lists for these Cannes selections kills me because there's no poster art yet for so many of them. And I keep saying every year I'm going to design posters for the Cannes lineup because Letterboxd will just put fan posters up, and I really want to do that one year. I really wanted to do it this year, but I mean, we need a better poster than just a random still thrown up, and some of these don't even have posters at all yet. So anyway, Club Zero lower on my anticipation list, but the fact that Mia Wasikowska definitely has it higher on my radar than like Little Joe was, or any of the others. And at this slot here, this is it, guys. This is my most anticipated film of the year. It's Jonathan Glazer's Zone of Interest. I have been following this film for 3 or 4 years, and the same thing happened with his last film, Under the Skin. The reason is from his debut, I loved Sexy Beast. He's only made 3 features so far. The second one, Birth, okay? If you've heard about it, if you've seen it, even better, dude. Birth is one of my favorite films of the 2000s, top 5 of the 2000s. Absolutely incredible. I am a big champion of this film. I don't know why more people are not as crazy for as me. Harris Savitas shot it. I mean, come on, dude. Cinematographer behind Elephant, The Game, Zodiac, Last Days, the Gus Van Sant films, Jerry. It is. It's the late Harris Savitas too. He passed away. But Birth, and the best Alexander Desplat score ever, by the way, bar none. And I've studied all of them. But Under the Skin, huge fan base for that last film. I loved Under the Skin. Birth is my favorite, but Under the Skin was great. And so he makes these films very spread out, almost like once every 10 years. The premise is a Nazi officer stationed at Auschwitz becomes enamored with the camp commandant's wife. Zone of Interest is based on a novel by Martin Amis. And I don't want to read too much about it. Here's like art from the book cover. So, we don't really know what this film's going to be like because all of Glazer's films are so different. Looks like all of the book covers all feature this barbed wire. So that's interesting. And then then there's this book cover here. I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't. Anyway, I don't really know what to expect from this film. It's a huge mystery, huge wild card because each of Glazer's films have been so stylistically different and unique. I am just incredibly excited. And guys, the lead actress is Sandra Huller. Come on. I mean, incredible. I first saw her in Requiem, and she is mind-blowingly good in that. And of course, Tony Erdman. I need to make my head smaller. Do you guys mind if I just go over here? That way you can see some of these people. So Sandra Huller, right there. Oh man, unbelievably excited for Zone of Interest. I am so vindicated because I've been talking about this film for years. Ever since I first heard about it, I've been following it. Each year I hope it's going to be coming out. And now it's here and it's in the Cannes competition lineup. It's the first Glazer film ever been in. And I love these music video directors from the 90s. So Jonathan Glazer directed, I don't know if it's going to say any of his music videos here. Virtual Insanity, Radiohead's Karma Police. I mean, I've got that DVD set of Jonathan Glazer, such a huge fan of everything he's done. So yeah, guys, this is big for me. I think it could be a contender for the Palm. It's just we don't know what it's going to be like, so it's really hard to say. But when you're talking about early contenders for who could possibly win the Palm, we haven't seen the films, of course, but just from the concept of what they are, this is definitely up there. I know a lot of people are. It's finally on their radar, and I'm so happy. Let's blast through some more. Aki Kaurismäki has a new one called Fallen Leaves, and I have to totally admit that Kaurismäki is a blind spot for me. The couple that I've seen are The Man Without a Past. It was very critically acclaimed in 2002. This is when I was in college, so I definitely checked this one out because I heard so much about it. But I honestly haven't seen. I don't even know if I've seen any others. So total blind spot, and there's a lot. And this is I haven't seen La Havre either, or Match Factory Girl, Other Side of Hope. I maybe saw Other Side of Hope. I don't know. Anyway, major blind spot. So comment below with what Kaurismäki film I should see. I have this feeling that I won't really jive with his sense of humor or style, but I don't want to judge. I'm definitely open to discovering his work. I'm looking forward to it. So I know people are excited about that. Next up, Four Daughters from Kaltur Ben Hania. Now, I'm probably not saying that right. Letterboxd says Tunisian film director. Beauty and the Dogs, her best known film, was selected as the Tunisian entry at the Academy Awards. So great. 2020 film The Man Who Sold His Skin, nominated at was nominated. So she's already been nominated for International Feature and selected another time. So yeah, The Man Who Sold His Skin. What's this film all about? A refugee has his back tattooed by one of the most sulfurous contemporary artists, becoming in a way a precious work of art. This one called Beauty and the Dogs. Mariam, a Tunisian woman, is raped by police officers. After leaving a party, she's propelled into a harrowing night when she must fight for her rights. I mean, sounds intense. Sounds absolutely great in terms of like I want to see this filmmaker tell that story. Um, so yeah, the new one is Four Daughters. Between Light and Darkness stands Olfa, a Tunisian woman and the mother of four daughters. One day, her two older daughters disappear. To fill in their absence, the filmmaker invites professional actresses and invents a unique cinema experience that will lift the veil on Olfa and her daughters' life stories. Wow, I mean that sounds phenomenal. I love these meta concepts, so this is very high on my list. I think this could be huge, possibly. Asteroid City. Wes Anderson's been a shoe in. We knew this was going to happen. He was selected for French Dispatch even when they didn't have the Cannes Film Festival. This was the only film we knew would be 100% locked in Cannes. And I watched the trailer. My take on Wes at this point, I mean, obviously we all grew up with him, love his work. Rushmore, Royal Tenenbaums, I still think are like the best. I particularly love Fantastic Mr. Fox just because I love the animation. So I love Isle of Dogs too. Love stop motion. Crazy for his like attention to detail. I think it really thrives in the animated genre. But I do think it's, what you hear a lot is like, the style over substance at this point, repeating the same style. It's definitely evolving the style. It's more detailed, more intricate, more amazing art direction each and every time for sure. And I do love it as eye candy. I don't know, maybe he needs to write with Owen Wilson again, like my friend Allison always says. I don't know, but the setting is 1955, America, Stargazer, Junior Stargazer Convention. It should be fun. Hanks looks pretty good in it. I'm a little Hanksed out, honestly, but and honestly, some of the actors, I don't know why they're just not my particular like. It's not who I would choose to put in a Wes Anderson film. I'm a little burned out on the Edward Norton, Adrian Brody, even Scarlett Johansson, even Tilda Swinton. Dare I say? I mean, I know she's in every single movie, but I don't know. Willem Dafoe. I'm just not super inspired by this. Steve Carell though. Hope Davis. That's nice. And Jason Schwartzman's back in it. So we'll see. I mean, bar is low at this point for Wes. I really want him to blow people away with something different and great, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. So Anatomy of a Fall, another female director, Justine Triet. She's known for Sybil, In Bed with Victoria. Yeah, you probably haven't seen any of these because they are, with all due respect, I checked out In Bed with Victoria. Very kind of standard French contemporary rom-com. I don't really know why she gets in the competition each and every time. It seems like they are trying to check off the like French film, female director. Boom, check off two birds with one stone, and just put her in. And I don't really get it. I need to see Sybil. Sybil has Adele Exarchopoulos and Virginie Efira. I like her a lot, but haven't seen it. This would be the one I would put in my can apart to watch this year if I wanted to catch up on one. But look who's the star. Again, Sandra Huller, starring in both this Justine Triet film and also Zone of Interest. So two films from Sandra Huller, who I think is one of the best, absolutely best German actors, best female actors. One of my favorite female actors. So a woman is suspected of her husband's murder, and their blind son faces a moral dilemma as a sole witness. So she's definitely getting into a different kind of genre here than just like the fluffier stuff. I mean, I don't want to write off all her work as fluffy, but anyway, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe some filmmakers like her are just poised to do something absolutely great at some point very soon. And I would love to see that. And there's male filmmakers, by the way, that fall into this category that I'll talk about too. I don't want y'all to think I just am downplaying these female directors. We have to have them in the lineup. So whoever wants to put in, fine with me. This one is my second, and maybe tied with Zone of Interest. Monster from Koreeda. Guys, I cannot wait for Monster. Not only do I love Koreeda so much, last year for our Can Apart, when he had his most recent film in, we watched his first film, Maborosi, and oh my God, Maborosi, this film right here, his first feature, guys, please watch it if you've not seen it. Blew my mind, and I already loved Koreeda from Afterlife, Shoplifters, Still Walking, Nobody Knows, especially Nobody Knows. All of them. Broker was fantastic last year, is in my top 10. After the Storm, great. This one, I really want to see. I wish. This is my Can Apart selection for this year if I were to catch up with one. Really want to see this one. I love what he does with children. And the new one is also about children. I mean, look at this image right here. The Japanese trailer is already out. It's very intriguing. It seems like there's some. It almost reminded me of Burning a little bit, just because it looks like it's a darker tone where some really dramatic things possibly are happening in this film, and it's not just a kind of observational portrait of a family life or something like Shoplifters, Broker, etc. I'm really curious what's going to happen here. The premise here is about a teacher. So a young son starts to behave strangely. His mother feels there's something wrong. Discovering a teacher is responsible, she storms into the school demanding to know what's going on, but the truth gradually emerges. I mean, this is absolutely fascinating. The trailer is great. Koreeda is back in Japan. I cannot wait for Monster. So high on my list. Next is Brighter Tomorrow, Nanni Moretti. So I'm just going to say, okay, oh, they updated the description for this. A film director unhappy with the movie he's shooting about a Hungarian circus stranded in Rome during the 1956 anti-Soviet uprising. Faces divorce from his producer wife. Okay, well, we'll see. You know, Nanni Moretti, when I'm trying to like pick a movie by this director to watch, I just it's not moving the needle for me. I'm just being brutally honest here. None of these films you really ever hear anyone talking about. The Sun's Room was kind of like a festival hit at the time. You can see winner best picture at, so this won the Palm, I guess. It says best picture at Cannes. But I mean, even the reviews here, they're kind of mixed. I mean, this would be the one I would watch. I do want to watch The Sun's Room, but the rest, I mean, we've hardly heard of any of these films. And no offense or anything, I don't know why they don't excite me at all. So please help me with Nanni Moretti and understanding why I need to get on board. Uh, he was president of the jury in 2012, so that's awesome. And look at that, 1 year after winning the Palm, just like Ruben Ostlund. So he won the Palme d'Or, and then he immediately went and became the president. Anyway, I feel bad. I don't want to say anything bad about any filmmaker because, hey, I'm open-minded. I'm just telling you where I'm coming into this. This one, though, Alice Rohrwacher, La Chimera, Happy as Lazaro was her last film, and then you have Le Pupille, which was the short that was on Disney. Alfonso Cuarón, one of my favorites, curated or produced this. I actually didn't see it, but it was nominated for the short. I do need to catch up with it. It's a long short. But stuff like this, The Wonders, I really want to see this. This would be my Can Apart selection. Gosh, I mean, this one, Corpo Celeste. These all look good. And Happy as Lazaro, I want to temper the hype a little bit for La Chimera because some people are already saying La Chimera is the front runner for the Palm already. This says, following the travails of Arthur, an Englishman in Italy with a preternatural ability to connect with the land. They updated that description as well. Isabella Rossellini is in it. Josh O'Connor, right here. So you know him from lots of these films here. So a lot of period films. And I don't know if this will be in English or Italian or what. Definitely an Englishman. So Englishman in Italy. Anyway, people are talking about this as being like the Palm frontrunner. Just taper the hype a little bit because Happy as Lazaro, believe me, I loved Happy as Lazaro. I thought it was a very deep and profoundly provocative and interesting film, but it's very slow, very opaque. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be one that's like just going to win everyone over, but we'll see. I love the director. She is great and really look forward to seeing that. This one, another big one, very hyped. Nuri Bilge Ceylan, about dry grasses or some loose translation about that, concerning dry grass or something like this. Not a good translation. Not a good title in English, but Following a young teacher finishing fourth year of service in a remote village in Anatolia, while hoping to be assigned to Istanbul, when he and his colleague are accused of harassment by two female students, he loses all hope of escaping the grim life. But meeting Nure, himself a teacher, may help him overcome his angst. It sounds interesting. Sounds good. But Once Upon Anatolia was massive. It was really, really great. Love this film. So high hopes. I mean, people loved Winter Sleep too. People liked The Wild Pear Tree. Didn't have quite as big an impact as Anatolia. I want to see this one, Distant. This was the first one I'd heard about from him. Again, I was in college, and I was on that Cinemasters critics group on Yahoo, and a lot of the critics I looked up to were talking about this film. So this would be my selection for Can Apart this year. I really want to watch Distant. 110 minutes, under 2 hours. I want to watch this one. So yeah, look out for this one about Dry Grass. I also might put it in a little bit of the overhyped category so far, but not trying to start anything. Anyway, Last Summer, Catherine Breillat. Okay, this is a master female filmmaker we have in the lineup. Fat Girl Romance, so many others. Abusive Weakness with Huppert. Bluebeard, I loved. Sleeping Beauty, so two like fairy tale films, which I love. I'm obsessed with fairy tale cinema, and especially art house fairy tale cinema. So that's like right down my lane. I actually still haven't seen Fat Girl, believe it or not. So Fat Girl will be my pick for Can Apart if I were to watch one this year if I have time. Last Summer is a lawyer, mother of two girls, welcomes into her home the 17-year-old from her husband's first marriage, with whom she will have an affair. Sounds juicy, sounds cinematic and fun, and can't wait for that. Then we have Tron Ong Hung, and French film director of Vietnamese ancestry. I've actually watched these. Watched Vertical Ray of the Sun, Ciclo, and Sin of the Green Papaya. Norwegian Wood, I need to see. This is a Murakami. This is the first book that Murakami, I think, allowed any filmmaker to adapt. He was very strict at first. Now some of their shorts are his shorts are being done, but this looks good. It's set in the world of cooking, and the way Thierry described it in the press conference was very odd. It just sounded like this is about the ways we learn to cook and how food changes the world. And I don't know. It does not. I don't know why it's like. Is it French? I don't. I guess it's set in France, so this is not going to be like a Vietnamese film per se. So I don't know. We'll see. Then we have Kidnapped, Marco Bellocchio. This file, I'm sorry, but I gotta group this with the Nanni Moretti and the Italian directors that I just cannot find myself getting excited to dig into. I did watch Fist in the Pockets at Can Apart. It was good, but this is a Criterion from 1965. I just watched this because, okay, it's on Criterion. It has to be, interesting from a historical perspective. And it was, but still, it wasn't, it didn't blow me away. Vincere, however you'd say this, nominated for the Palme d'Or. Okay, that just means it was in the selection. Anyway, I can't get excited. I don't know why Bellocchio is in every time. I don't know why Nanni Moretti is in every time. These guys always get in. Let's move on to something more exciting. Todd Haynes, May December. Julianne Moore, Natalie Portman. Some kind of... Okay, so 20 years after their notorious tabloid romance gripped the nation, a married couple buckles under the pressure when an actress arrives to do research. So the actress is Natalie Portman doing research on the life of Julianne Moore. And I guess the husband is played by, Asian actor Charles Melton. Okay, interesting. So I'm excited for May December. People are very excited. Possible leading contender up there for the Palma, just because people are excited for the next Todd Haynes. Even though his last films have kind of he's hit or miss. Carol was great, very critically acclaimed, but his last one with Mark Ruffalo, I don't even remember seeing. I forgot it even existed. Now this one, Firebrand, Karim Anus, born in Brazil. Okay, I've actually remember this one, Invisible Life. This was great. This was a couple years ago, and it was really good. And I had forgotten that's who this director was. So, if you know me, if you're my personal friend and we talk about actors and actresses a lot, I have been known to say that Alicia Vikander is the greatest actress of her generation. I just think she's that good. If you've seen, there's one movie in particular, no one talks about it, I know, This one, The Light Between Oceans, and yes, it's where she worked with her now husband Michael Fassbender. If you want to see two actors falling so deeply in love on screen, the chemistry is that good. It's that good, the chemistry. You got to see this movie because she just goes somewhere I've never seen, honestly. She's great. So anything she's in, I'm interested in. And she plays Catherine Parr, one of the wives of Henry VIII. So, yeah. Alicia Vikander, Jude Law is Henry VIII, I guess. So, what kind of film will this be? You know, this is going to be a period film, but I'm expecting an interesting style from this director. What's this one? Madame Sata. I mean, all his films look really interesting. It's this Brazilian filmmaker chose to make this story. I'm wondering what he's got up his sleeve. This is in my probably top five most anticipated for the competition, Firebrand. And some people are already talking about that uh, as an Oscar nominee. Then we have Ken Loach, who also is always in. He has The Old Oak in competition. Ken Loach has won the Palm for uh, When the Shakes the Barley and I, Daniel Blake. So two films. I've seen When the Shakes the Barley. I haven't seen I, Daniel Blake yet. I haven't seen Sorry We Missed You. Again, hard for me to get super excited about Ken Loach. However, Kess is phenomenal. This is 1969. Yeah, so definitely he's got the pedigree from his career. So we'll see what the new one is. Apparently, it's like his last film or something like that. It's about a bar in, I guess, Ireland. So yeah. Oh, British. Maybe. Sorry, I'm probably saying all kinds of mistakes. I guess he's not Irish. I don't know why I thought this was an Irish film. He's just British, so forgive me there. We got a couple more. So this one, Ramata Tulay Sai. This film is called Banal and Adama. Young adults, Banal and Adama live in a small remote village in northern Senegal. Adama is introverted and discreet while Banal is passionate and rebellious. They're destined to love each other with an eternal love. Okay. But the couple will be put to the test by the conventions of the community because where they live, there's no place for passions. Wow. I mean, this is the feature debut, I'm pretty sure, of this director. So this one called Astel. I don't know if anyone's got a hold of it. This looks beautiful. It's 24 minutes long. Look at this. People are already watching it for their con projects. So I love seeing that. It was at New Films, New Directors, Lincoln Center. So this review by No Way just says one of the record-breaking 6 women competing for the Palm. Her feature debut, poster is looking gorgeous. It's cool. There seems to be so many romantic movies in competition. We chose this short film to celebrate her, and it was nice enough. I'm not sure I understood completely, but it deals with family relationships and gender roles from the perspective of a child. Clothes are amazing. The cinematography is beautiful. Very good. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, bringing in a brand new voice, brand new female director into the competition. Let's see what this one's all about when it comes out. Then we have Perfect Days, Wim Wenders. This is the toilet movie. I hate that people are already calling it that. But look, it's set in Japan, okay? So fuck off. I love anything set in Tokyo. This is going to be good. I'm sorry. I don't even love Wim Wenders as much as everyone else. Like, I'm not one of those people who Paris, Texas in their top 10. Great film. I watched it way too late. If I had watched it in college, it would probably be in my top 10, but I watched it way too late. I watched it for the first time like 5 years ago. Got to see it on the big screen, which is great. But Wings of Desire, of course, masterpiece. But there's so many still I haven't seen. Like, I haven't seen Alice in the Cities. So this is my counterpart selection for Wim Wenders. I need to catch up with that one. But yeah, I mean, this one's filmed in Tokyo, and he actually has a documentary in the other competition as well. So 2 films in Cannes. This one's in competition, and I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. Filmed in Japan, so just give it to me. Give it to me. Put it in my eyeballs. Then we have Youth by Wang Bing. Now, look at that poster, first of all. Absolutely great poster. So this is not a documentary, from what I understand. However, if you look at his body of work, so born in China, independent filmmaker in 1999, enormous documentary work of more than 9 hours west of tracks. If you look at all of his films, many of them have been in museums. These are long, long, long documentaries. Guys, 551 minutes and serious stuff. This is like Showa type shit. And if you know me, when it comes to like films such as Showa, like these epic, long, historically deep examinations of a specific historical events, like I love this. I live for this. I don't have time to watch these. I want to. I want to watch all these. Dead Souls. Look at this. The countless prisoners abandoned in the Gobi Desert 60 years ago. The remains. Designated as ultra rightists in the Communist Party's anti-right campaign, they starved to death in a reproduction camp. This invites to meet the survivors of the camps. So this is like Showa. 495 minutes. I mean, this is serious academic stuff. And this, Youth, 212 minutes. So kind of a breeze compared to the others. But it doesn't look like a documentary. This looks like a worker, a character who's in the worker district near Shanghai. They live at their dorms or in small studios. Time and space to meet is missing. They communicate through QQ. And in China, they live as adults or teenagers. Oh, Wang Bing will spend a year with them at work, at home, on the internet. At the end of the year, he will follow them in the opposite direction to their province of origin. Whoa. Okay, this is, I guess, a documentary, and this sounds absolutely incredible. Honestly, give this the Palme d'Or right now. I'm sorry, but just I'm putting that out there. Nostra-Gamgee. I got Nostra-Gamgee feelings right now. Is that the end of the competition? We're going to number 22. So we have two more. Oh yeah, Black Flies. I forgot about this one. Really? Was this added just recently? Black Flies. Jean-Stefan Sauveur. Sorry, my French is terrible. Young paramedic is partnered with experienced medic who thrusts him into the harsh realities of New York inner city streets. I didn't even know this was added to competition. What's Homecoming here? Catherine Corsini? Really? She was on the jury too. La Repetition. Dude, she was also in this is another director they keep putting in, and all due respect to her, but they keep giving the same directors. And I don't know, I didn't look at an overview of like the year and what other female filmmakers should have been in the competition. I'm sure these are all fine choices, but it is a lot of the same people over and over, which is true for male and female directors, like I said. Anyway, I didn't hear this was in. Maybe these were two of the most recent entries. So that's interesting. And that's the official competition. The only other thing I want to say is the Victor Erice film. If I can find it. Director of Spirit of the Beehive and La Norte. Special screening, probably 75, 76. I think that's where it is here. No, Vincent Must Die. I'm not going to go through the other programs. Well, I'll just go here. Victor Erice. Victor Erice. I think that's how you say it. Oh, sorry. I need to go to the cast and crew. Here he is, Victor Erice. What's his new film? Anyway, okay, I don't want to waste time. But anyway, he's got a new film in Cannes. It sounds good. And I don't know why it's not in competition. Because to me, it seems like this director would be in. Let me just look this up. Victor Erice, Cannes 2023. And we've got Cerrar los Ojos. So Cerrar los Ojos, let's look for that. Close your eyes. Yeah, I was right. When filming the movie, famous Spanish actor Julio Arenas disappears without a trace. I mean, how is that not already? This premise is great. Although his body is never found, the police conclude that he has suffered an accident in a cliff by the sea. Many years later, the mystery is brought up once more by a TV program, which offers previously unreleased images of the last scenes in which he participated, shot by his close friend director. This sounds like money. Like, why can't this be in competition? He's coming almost out of retirement practically. He just doesn't make films that often. So I don't know. I'm surprised it's not in. And again, we have Killers of the Flower Moon. Apparently not in competition just because I think how I'm interpreting it from what Terry said is that it was not ready in time. So still kind of editing it a little bit. But he basically said if Killers of the Flower Moon wants to be in, he'll put it in. So don't be surprised if it sneaks into the competition at the last minute, which would kind of be crazy. Again, a lot of people are very, very, very hyped for this movie. I'm hyped for it. Don't get me wrong, but it's not just like automatically the best picture of the year to me without seeing it. We'll have to see. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the Cannes lineup. I'm going to let this go now and say goodbye. And I'll be back with another jury reaction video if I can, if they announce it soon. I really hope they do. I hope some interesting people are on it. I love seeing like the mixtures of directors and actors coming together and different people from different parts of the industry and the art world coming together as the jury. And look forward to the festival coming soon. Unfortunately, it happens at the same time as the sequel to Breath of the Wild coming out on Switch. So I'm going to be playing Zelda and watching this Cannes stuff. It's a really good time for the year. And thanks for tuning in today. Leave your comments with what you think about the lineup and any of my thoughts. Hope I didn't offend anyone. Hope I didn't say any wrong names. Hope I didn't say any bad takes. It's just my off-the-cuff thoughts as someone obsessed with Cannes. So that's it, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.